Hello, my name is VSin, and this is a snapshot of Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1. Now this game came out on August the 26th, 2014 for the PlayStation Vita in North America. Quick note here, I've been at this for almost 12 and a half hours. I'm picking a different save file because immediately after this story event I lose half of my party, so yeah, I'm doing a slightly older save file. So I've actually lost a few things, but whatever. Just as a random record. So this is Hyperdimension Neptunia. And overall, this is a bit of a dungeon crawly RPG with a fairly unique combat system. Now, I don't know how unique it is because I only played one game that plays like this, but to me, it's a pretty damn unique combat system. So overall, what are we really talking about here? It's mostly crawling through dungeons. You have all these various different dungeons, and you can run around and collect loot and beat up monsters, gain XP, and all that good stuff. So, apart from that base thing, where should I really start? I'm gonna start with the story. Now, I normally don't comment on the story too much, but this is a story where, if you haven't noticed from the map already, let me show you the party members. Like, okay, Neptune, Blanc, Vert, IF? Mages? Marvelous AQL! If you don't know who Marvelous AQL is, the company, they're the guys who do Senran Kagura, etc. Compa is Compile Heart, IF is Idea Factory. And then, of course, there's the Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation references. Neptune is the series mascot. Mages is apparently a Steins Gate reference. One of the big things about Hyperdimension Neptunia, at least as far as I know, since I don't know too much about the series, is that it spends a lot of time referencing huge chunks of the games industry. I mean, for crying out loud, this game is about the console war and the task of being saving a world called Gam Industry. Like, gee, I wonder what this is about. And they also have other characters. There's a character called Falcom, Tekken, Broccoli. I didn't even hear about the company until I played Hyperdimension Neptunia. There's also a part where they censor the word Soul Edge for some reason, probably copyrights. There's Pokemon references. Like, it's really quirky as hell, the story, but it really feels like it's a lot about games. It's a game about games being played in a game world. Like, it's games. Lots and lots of games. That's what the story is about. And I feel it's worth bringing it up, because to me, it's one of the things that really kept me playing at the start. So, let's see here. Basic stuff that should be covered. Items, equipment, and equipment, nothing too special there. You have consumables, weapons, armor, you know, the usual spiel. Let's go into commands first. Oops, wrong button. I blame my Japanese Vita. Commands. Okay, combos, SP skills, and EXE drive. These don't require too much explanation. SP skill is, it's a special move. It consumes your SP, aka mana bar. No big deal. EXE drive, similarly, you can see at the bottom left corner, there's an EXE drive gauge. That increases while you are in a dungeon and is emptied when you leave the dungeon. Those are special moves. Big whoop. Combo skills, on the other hand, are very special. These are basically auto attacks 2.0. So normally in combat, what you do is you're given a prompt to attack. So you can see there on the screen, first attack. That is the first hit that lands. After that point, though, you get 3 more attacks, plus maybe an EX finish, depending on how full your EX bar is. And those attacks come in 3 categories. Rush, primarily multiple hits. Power, primarily HP damage. And Break, primarily guard or guard damage, shall we say. Enemies have the regular HP bar. They also have a guard bar. That guard bar, while it still has something in it, it will mitigate damage and then it'll steadily decrease. When the guard bar is empty, then the target takes increased damage up until either A, the target starts their turn for the first time and then it's 1 attack afterwards, or you just let it sit there and then it fills up the guard. Maybe you can, Either way, there's a bar. You break it, you deal more damage. Yay. So here's the way the system works. You're supposed to slot in skills. The skills that you slot in depend on character, and you can see a few things here. First of all, on the right side of the screen, what we're looking for is not type power combo, because that's just a slot. Affinity, or the element and damage type. There are magical and physical damage. There's also an elemental wheel. Fairly standard stuff. Some of these have range, some of them don't. The range is mostly just a universal. They use that for everything. As far as I can tell, auto attacks are only tied to your weapon range, so there's no range there. You also have hit counts on these various attacks. Higher hit counts are primarily for gaining EX bar, but in general, at least I think, I've noticed that multi-hit skills tend to suffer more from high defense targets, and it seems to me, at least, that defense is mostly calculated as flat mitigation, not percentage mitigation. So splitting your damage across multiple hits will reduce the damage, but will generate more EX bar. Anyways, magical and elemental attacks and whatnot. You can see their power, damage dealt, guard damage, damage dealt to the guard bar. There are also some of these have effects like poison, stun, all that good stuff. Other thing I want to mention is on the column that says CP, you see 20, 30, 40, 50, 30, 30. Now you can see in the green bar, it's a little bit thin. I don't know if my rendering screws up, then that might look really bad, but underneath the character bar up top, you can see the CP 51 out of 267. That is the CP cost for the skills that you can slot into here. So for example, I'm going to do this 50 CP cost high rush. I'm going to slot it in there. Now I only have 1 CP left. That means I cannot slot anything more. I've run out of cost. That is another customization feature. Because personally, I like just spamming high break, high break, high break, and mega D drive, mega D drive, mega D drive. Because it's dumb, simple, easy. But for some other characters, let's see which one I'm talking about. Like for example, mages, I prefer to do Thunder, Thunder, Ice for different damage types. Where are you? There. This IF, I prefer, like, Break. In this case, I put all my status effects on the bottom one. I initially ran out of cost, and her power attacks kind of sucks anyways. Oh, sweet, I just got enough for a third Demon Slice. Then up top, since I've noticed the Demon Slice tends to do more damage, I put the Demon Slices up there for more SP. You know what, I'm actually going to change this right now. I'm going to put the power attacks down here. That way I can choose to, okay, I'm going to increase SP gauge, then try to put the poison on my 4th hit. Or maybe I feel like, no, I just want to throw as many conditions as possible. Or maybe I want to quickly gain some SP and then deal a bit extra damage on the last hit. Lots of stuff like that. EX finishes are basically the same thing as the slot skills. The main difference is that you have to have your EXE bar full to some degree. Just quickly throw these in here because I forgot to do this earlier. Right on, sure, futon, a futon. You can see here 2 EXE. That requires you to have 2 EXE bars full in order to trigger it. Using the EX finishes does not burn any EX bar whatsoever, but it can only be triggered when the bar is full. Well, anyways, different character, different customization, and all that good stuff. Lar. Oops. Sure. So anyways, enough with the explanation of systems. There's one other system, but it's nothing too special for combat. Let's see here. Everything else. I dragged on for a while. It's just for talking about that. Party. One thing I want to talk about here is partner setup and lily ranks. Battle formation isn't that interesting in comparison. It's just, oh, you put them on several different parts on the screen, like yay. Actually, I should probably do something like this because I'm using mages a lot now and she's ranged. So just change the formation up like that. Alrighty. Partner setup. Another thing that I should have mentioned earlier is that all these characters have the option to pair up. What you do is you go into combat, you can only have 3 units on the field at any given time, but you can swap the matched pair. So for example, when I start combat, I will have Neptune, Vert, and Mages out first, and then I could swap out either of them for their corresponding partners. So for example, Vert, if I want to swap, it will swap for IF, and they will have their different movesets, health, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. What you also notice on the right side of the screen is those various different boosts. When the partner is in the background, they will grant background as in not out, basically. They will grant those bonuses to the character who is out. So in this case, when I have mages out and Marvelous AQL in the back, Marvelous AQL will give mages SP cost reductions, will nullify debuffs, and will also give a special EX burst. That is the Katon there, where I can choose to slot it, use it, whatnot. And of course, all these various effects differ from character to character. You can only have 6 in total. If you have excess, they show up down here and do stuff. Well, they actually do nothing because you can't use them. Also, another thing about partner switching is that while the partner is in the background, they will steadily regenerate HP, not SP. Just worth noting that for this particular game, SP does not regenerate passively. One last thing to go through here, plan. Plan is another way of saying rebirth. Basically what you do is you gain plans, and plans allow you to access certain features. So there are certain things like, in this case, Jumping Star are just, I can increase my jump height, which will make it easier to traverse around dungeons. Destroy Symbols is if I get the initiative, then it will nuke the enemy, basically. I probably should have collected the ink boosters a while ago. Whatever. And then you have all other sorts of modifiers. Battle modifiers, it does stuff like... I really should have gotten this earlier. But then you have stuff like certainly escaping, EXE drive. You also have buff and debuff enemies. Break damage limit. I really need to get this on my other save file sometime soon. This, just as a random note, damage is initially capped at 9999. You run into it quite a bit with Vert and Blanc with their special skills, since its single hit does tons of damage. That will release the damage limit. Plans will also have all these various dungeons that you can unlock, and you can also add various things to them. So for example, Thalid Sanctuary, I can add dangerous monsters and change the item drops. Which one do I want to go to? I don't really care. Items, you can also make certain items available, like regen, special weapons, and all that good stuff. It's another sort of collectible system. You can get plans from all over the place. Some of them are dungeon drops. Some of them are little world events, like you can visit a city and you can go to information, and if there's someone here, they may give you a plan. There are also maybe like little nodes all over the place on the world map and whatnot. Let's see, should I go to Thalid Sanctuary now? I'll leave it alone for now. Let's see, anything else I missed before I get into an actual fight? Sorry for taking so long with the menus. Let's see here, towns. One more system that I have to get through. Guild is just quest, kill 10 rats, collect 10 bear asses. Nothing too special there. Quests do modify shares, but at 12 hours in, I still have no idea what shares actually do. I've even looked through the tutorials and I still can't figure out what shares do. Maybe it's something later on? It's supposed to be the power level of certain characters, but the shares haven't done anything, and I don't know why. Whatever. Disk Dev. Disk Dev is another customization system. This is basically a custom accessory, for lack of a better term. I've already made a bunch here, so let's use the green disc. Now, over on the left there, you see level 3 yellow, level 5 blue, level 4 red. Okay. Maybe you can't see the level, but you should be able to see the color and the number. What those mean is the quality of idea chip that you can slot into that location. So for example, in this case, you can see that on the right side, 5 yellow FPS. In this case, this also gives me break damage limit. That is blacked out because I can't slot it into that yellow. So what you do is you just pick one of these. EXE charge 1, 2, crit rate. Let's put EXE charge and go over here. Since it's level 5, everything I've got should be slotted into it. Most of the blue stuff is type-specific defense. Let's do machine type. Actually, no. Inorganic, machine, animal, animal data, type, plant, insect, ghost, dragon, inorganic. Let's go inorganic. And then for here, lily rank, crit defense, gain XP. Do I want XP boost? Nah. Credits. Escape. Whole bunch of the different things, and I don't really keep track of these. Let's do XP. And then you put up and down on the pad, go all the way to the bottom. Don't press circle, don't press circle. Go all the way to the bottom, select burn game disc, and then you have this green disc that you can equip to your characters. The chips are expended when you burn them into the disc, although you can clean off the disc and then put new chips onto them as you desire. The discs are obtained through story events. There's a mystery character who will give you a special event and will just hand you one. Some of them are events. You get discs everywhere, basically. You have to find them. CPU blog is just fluff. Information, I showed you that already. Museum, let's take a really quick tour of this. It's just a whole bunch of different CG and stuff. A really random note. One of the features, if you can notice that little jiggle, if you tap the front screen, a lot of these CGs do actually have, not this one, but let's see here, this one. A lot of these CGs have boob jiggle, and you can trigger it by touching the front screen. There's also stuff like old packaging, backgrounds, and all sorts of other stuff. Audio, it's what you would expect, audio, and then that's about it. So yeah, that's a grand tour. Let's get into a fight, shall we? Should we go to Thalid Sanctuary? It's probably going to be pretty easy. Don't care, let's do it. So what's going on here is you just run around and collect stuff. There are also hidden gathering nodes. You just press square to scan, and if you're near it, it'll detect it. So you have enemies over here. You press X, you hit them for initiative. If they get to you first, then you won't have initiative. Alright, combat basics. You can see that blue square that's spinning around like crazy. That is your auto attack hitbox. This means that you can, if you position really carefully, hit 2 enemies at once, which is one of the nice things about this. This is also pretty free-form in terms of its turn-based combat. You can just put people wherever. And for units, by the way, their movement range is restricted by that light blue circle. Everyone has a movement stat. You can modify that if you so desire to make it more or less mobile. Doesn't matter. Let's do an attack. So press X. And then you can see the 3 options I mentioned earlier. You can pick whichever one you feel like. If they die prematurely, because this area is too damn easy, then it'll just cancel out. And you can just pick various attacks. Same thing goes for SP attacks and whatnot. This over here is just a gathering node. They will drop random crap. Harvest Shift will obviously change what these nodes will give you. Just run around grabbing stuff. We got 1 data chip there, data crystal 2. Avoid enemies! Also, yeah, they get the initiative on you, then surprise attack. But since I'm so overpowered compared to these guys, they will just do 0 damage to me. Let's do an SP skill. There we go. Line it up nice. And that should one-shot everyone. Yay, damage capped.
I suggest not underestimating the power.
On a really random note here, max damage and max combo, I think that is just for bookkeeping. It's just, I want to break my personal record. It doesn't seem to actually have any bearing on the XP or credits earned, at least as far as I have noticed. Anyways, let's keep going. I want to find a big-ass enemy somewhere around here. Alright, so let's zoom in on this a bit. Wow, that's going to be really hard to see on YouTube. If you can see the orange dots, like not the red dots, the orange dots, really hard to see on YouTube. I'm very sorry about that. I'll have to turn the quality up. But those are the dangerous monsters. Those are the higher level ones, not the random mobs that I've been killing lately. Let's see. This guy's a dangerous monster? Well, let's see what happens.
You know me as Major, the Mad Magician, and yet you face me.
Alright, so Boss Lizard. Another feature for certain characters, mostly just the goddesses, is HDD on. Press R, then
Let me show you.
transformation sequence.
Transformation complete.
I neglected to mention this earlier, but HDD, they do actually have a completely separate equipment pool. You can see, for example, the crazy looking thing on her feet. That's a customization option. But otherwise, they are the exact same character with a stat boost. Like really, they are the exact same character with a stat boost. So that's about it, really. Like, it doesn't even change what EX moves are available. There are partner EX moves as well as formation EX moves. Those require both the character and the partner to be in the same mode. So, for example, both in human mode, both in HDD mode. I'll just rip his health bar to shreds because this is going to be a really easy boss. Since I out-level it by a half mile. You know what, let's just nuke him. These all do the same damage. I got EX1. Let's do an EXE drive, shall we? This should finish him off. I wonder if that's Xbox.
May your spirit be cleansed from existence.
And I really need to get the damage limit removed. Whatever. Hey, fan service poses. Whatever. And, well, I really shouldn't have come to such an easy area. Let's get out of here and let me get my ass kicked somewhere. Yeah, let's go into the more recent dungeon. Because, yeah, this is way too easy. And it's not a good demonstration of how combat actually turns out like, because I massively out-level everything in this dungeon. Well, that was poorly planned. Now I'm gonna go get my ass kicked for a second. Change dungeons. Go to the fantasy zone, most recent dungeon. I will most likely get my ass kicked here, which is the whole point. Anyways, let's see if there are equipment drops somewhere. Shut up, don't aggro me. Any equipment over there? Nope. Where's the boss again? To the right? Yep. Oh wait, no, I have to go up this way first, right. This is also a story dungeon, so there's a story event at the end of this, but the boss is pretty darn grindy just because of the HP regen. So let's see if I get my ass kicked. Wish me luck! Because this is the first time I've ever fought it. Oh, great. Heavy ass cleave.
I will show you the power of a goddess. Let me end this.
Okay, that guy hits like a truck. Let's put a debuff on him first.
Let me seal your moves. Now, who would like to taste
blah da da.
Take this.
Shred his guard for now.
There.
Oh, this guy isn't gonna be too bad.
I'm going to be serious.
Mind you, I am also using the weaker enemies modifier, so yeah, this is actually gonna be easier than expected. Oh well.
Not yet.
On second thought, this won't be as easy. Okay, Mages is gonna show up next, so shred his armor for now.
Finish this.
All right.
Taking this serious.
Get the multi-hits and shred the armor down.
Taking this serious. Now.
All right, and then I can just heal. All these skills have various skill ranges, denoted by that light purple circle on the ground. You have to get in range. I just really hope the boss doesn't turn on me. There's 50% max HP healing. What the? You're shitting me. Is a cleave like that? Oh man. Good thing I massively overlevel him, otherwise this would be a nightmare.
It is my turn.
Well, I guess I'm healing. Yonder. Hey, get over there.
May light caress.
Thank you, cursor.
I'll finish this. Taking this
Just
serious.
prep him, I guess, for now.
Too slow.
Wait for the...
Not bad.
Yeah, it looks like they have a cleave. Fuck that. I don't know if it's front, back, or 360, though.
Operation Revelation will now commence. May light caress you.
Heal. No, that's a special cleave, apparently. Should I just want to use the EXE? No, I'm going to use the EXE drive first. Let's do the multi-hit. 1 hit. 2 hits. And then the EX Burst for Venom Storm. Now do my damage combo, and then multi-hit for EX Generation. Yeah, you do get frame drops a little bit if you zoom in that freaking close. But otherwise, it's not really too bad. Flame Causality. I don't know what his type weakness is. Ooh, that looked dangerous. Defend.
It's my turn.
High Rush. Dual Arts.
Are you ready?
Go. No, guard.
It is my turn.
Alright. heal again.
May light caress you.
I am ready.
Too slow.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna keep hitting him until EX1. EX2, there we go. Boss cleave. Let's do another special here, shall we? Let's see. Oh, right, she's not... Okay, never mind, she's not in the right mode. Switch first.
Now's the time to switch. I guess I'll take care of the
Switch
rest.
first, then I can use a special move.
There. Take
Thunderstorm,
this.
thunderstorm, thunderstorm, Cockatus.
I am ready. Prepare yourself. Too slow.
I really like Venom Storm. I don't know why, but it does so much damage. Anyways, HDD on for her.
Gonna go wild here. I'm getting serious now. Say your prayers.
Alright, now for the special EX.
Ron, I'll leave it to you. Right. Eat this.
That only took off most. Oh, great, another one-shot mechanic. God, I hate these bosses. Thankfully, I have a revive. Yay, revive.
My, now how should I repeat? Didn't feel a thing.
Blah, blah, blah. Power strikes.
Stay up. Take this. Now, what shall I do?
Transform again, if only for the defense buff.
Transformation complete.
Transformation in the middle of combat takes 20% max SP, but whatever. Where the hell are you? No, I'm gonna do the full one.
This should work.
There we go.
That will
Operation
work.
Revelation will now
Back to
commence.
healing.
May light caress you.
I will not let you have it your way. Ha! Prepare yourself. I'm ready anytime. You.
Guard break, guard break, guard break.
Not yet.
Operation
damn those
Revelation
breath
will
skills.
now commence.
Okay.
May light caress you.
I am ready. Too slow.
Do-do-do.
Too slow. Take this. I'll end this.
Guard break skill.
This is gonna hurt bad.
Now, who would like to taste defeat?
Stop taking so much damage so I can actually deal damage with mages instead of just healing.
I am ready.
Oh well. Yeah, let's keep going with this, I guess.
Fear. I'll end this.
Defense, mental. Oh well. Back to guard breaking.
Not yet.
Ooh, crap.
It is my turn.
Okay, screw it. I'm not gonna heal this time because I can't.
Be gone. Take this. Burn to ashes.
Is that enough? Nope.
I
Of
will
course
not
not.
let you have it your
Switch.
way. It seems you are a better fit than me here. It's my turn.
Do-do-do. Delphus? Is this gonna work? I don't know. Let's find out.
Large Delphinus.
Yep, that was enough. And that's a minor boss for you,
I'm
anyways.
the Windwalker of game industry. I'll be even stronger. Let's keep this up.
Level ups. Yay. And I don't know. That's a pretty good sampling of what this game is all about. Because, well, I don't know. Do you want spoilers? You guys want spoilers? Let's do it. Spoilers. However, for now, I think that's a pretty good snapshot of what this game is about, and I might as well talk about it. Would I recommend this game? So overall, I would have to say, probably. I mean, I will openly admit it's a little bit grindy. Just a little bit. Because this is a sort of game that will throw difficulty curves at you. Among early game players, I will note the Chapter 2 difficulty spike. You will need to grind to at least level 10. Most people say level 11 or 12 for the grinding there. That way you can get past the 2 bosses in a row, which gives a lot of people nightmare headaches, including me. But whatever. Let's do some story spoilers. This is actually fairly far along in the game. I haven't noticed any minor story events yet, so I'm sorry that I have to spoil the story like this, but whatever. So, I don't know, it's a good sampling of voice acting too.
Is this this where Isty is? Hey! Isty!
I've been waiting for you, Neptune. It took you long enough.
That voice. Ivoire?
My name sounds like it, but that's a different person. It's R4.
Oh, come on now. We've got this pattern already. Let's just run with this.
You invert well between serious and comical. I dub you the theme breaker.
It's a skill to change the atmosphere to something more acceptable. It seems with you here, it is proof that Histoire is here as well.
Exactly. I knew you would come here after collecting the key fragments.
Now I know what was bugging me. What do you mean, Noir? It was dead obvious that we would come after Histoire. Then this is a trap. No, Nep, get out of here.
Skippity-doo-dah, skippity-day. Because I don't want to sit through this whole thing. It's going to take about 5 to 7 minutes to get through the whole thing, but still. So, it's very long dialogue, and it is all, like, as it stands, I already spoiled a shit ton right there, so. Also, this game does have some forced failure fights. This is one of them. Because, you know, I'm kind of getting one shot by everything. However, you still want to land in a couple hits here, because this EXE drive does carry over.
I can't take this anymore.
Skippity-doo-dah, skippity-day. Even more skipping! And then for an actual tough boss fight, and then we'll properly wrap up this. Yeah, the skip button is the square button. You can just hard skip through everything like this, which is quite nice if you, for some reason, don't give a fuck about the story. And just I would really like to say I'm really enjoying the combat system. To me, it's the sort of iteration on like really old school RPG combat. It's like a really nice iteration on that, and it really feels like feels sort of the same as the old style combat, but at the same time it also feels updated. It feels a little bit more modern, shall I say. So anyways, chatting, there we go, now the chatting's done.
I will not hold back.
And this is Overlord Momus, who was created out of thin air. Quite literally, out of thin air. Well, let's find out if this works out. This guy is one hell of a lot tougher than the other guy I just fought. And he also has a tendency to nuke people to hell, but whatever.
Got you. May your soul breathe.
Gonna beat ya. Hey.
Also, for this particular story battle, her transformation is disabled, which is why I'm not transforming.
Are you ready? Too slow. My turn.
Guard.
It is my turn. Take this.
I don't know, I'm gonna see if I can just chain together 3 EXEs or something.
I am ready. Prepare yourself.
So, large. Oops, mashed too much. Whatever. EXE gauge is at 3.
Now, who would like to taste defeat?
Thunder, ice, Cocytus.
Are you ready?
6 part. Ah, damn it. Whatever. They're dealing red. Why not? Variety. Mages. Do I have to swap her out? I think so. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. Yay. Okay, I have to swap her out now. That's fine.
Take this. Too slow.
Ding, 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 and Venom Storm.
Now,
Do I have enough?
who would
No.
like to taste defeat? There. Be gone.
There we go, EX4.
Finally.
And switch.
Player change. I'll leave the rest to you. Hurry Hop already. Are you ready?
Alright. Let's switch her out for the sake of variety.
Than me here. I'll end this.
I'm gonna show off more EXE drives, because why not? I have 4 EX bars anyways. It is getting mitigated quite a bit though, since I'm kind of trying to do this through a full guard bar. So I'm gonna lose a lot of damage. But you know what? It looks pretty. That's better for a video, right?
Leave it to me. I'll send you personally to your grave. It's two. Perish.
Operation Revelation will now commence.
I don't think this is good. Yeah, I don't think Momus was in kill range. Oh well. Doesn't matter.
Now, let me see your final words.
I mean, you may have noticed a few frame drops in this section, but
May you reside
on the
in
whole, there actually aren't that many frame drops in this game. It just happens when they're really spamming out the particle effects, and it doesn't really last that long, so...
I'm ready anytime.
We'll use IFs. Doom,
Here I come.
Doom,
You.
Faust.
Slice it bounce. So, who wants
EXE
to get
again!
first?
Because Apocalypse Nova. Annoyingly, there doesn't seem to be a button that hard... There we go. Found the button. There's a... I was about to complain. I was like, oh wait, I found the button. Oh wait, no, that completely cancelled it. No wonder. Never mind then. Oops.
May light
So apparently they have a button that completely cancels it, but there's no button that fast forwards the animation. Very interesting.
Slice it bounce. It's my turn.
Oops. Well, let's do that properly this time. It's interesting. There seems to be an option to completely cancel it, but there's no option to fast forward through this, even though there's an option to fast forward through just about everything else.
It's two. Perish.
Still not enough. Wow.
I'll end this. You. Stay out. Take this. So, who wants to get... I'll let
Switch.
you take the show.
Okay, this is almost over.
Let me end this all in elegance. Too slow.
I probably should just use Silken Spear. Whatever.
Prepare yourself. I'm ready anytime.
Use the other special.
Tangerine trumpet.
I don't think that's nearly enough damage. No.
I will not
Oh, it's almost, but whatever.
Here's
I would use the EX for style points, but that would take too long. I'll just finish him off like this.
a victory of beauty. Do you not think so?
Okay, enough of story. Also, you'll notice that not every single scene is voice acted. It's only select scenes. I can't even really figure out which scenes in the story are voice acted over other ones. It almost feels arbitrary, actually, because this is kind of important, you know, because it's a major pivotal cutscene and crap. But I don't know, it's just like, why some are chosen to be voice acted instead of others? There doesn't seem to be a pattern to it, which, I don't know, it's splitting hairs, but even so.
I thought we were done for.
Oh, start is the auto button. Now I figured out. Well, that's embarrassing. Still, would I recommend this game? On the whole, probably yes. Okay. I would just like to point it out right now, if you're someone who doesn't like the cutesy sort of thing, moai blob, the fact that every single character in the game is female, every single one, then you're not going to like this game because you're just going to hate it by default. But even so, it has a great combat system, plenty of customization, tons of gameplay hours, tons of video game in-referencing, and overall I'm just having fun with it. I mean, 12 hours is in less than, what, 4 days? Okay, I usually can't pull that off even with the games I like, so Like, yeah, I would recommend this game. It's for... But, of course, if you sat through it this long, you've seen the type of gameplay it is. You have to be the sort of person who likes that sort of gameplay. Because there are a lot of people who don't like that sort of gameplay. And some of you may be sitting there wondering, well, do dungeons get any different? Do they become more complicated? Do they have more gimmicks? So far, I've really noticed no. A lot of these dungeons seem to be like corridors. And, well, what I showed you earlier was an accurate representation of what a lot of the gameplay is like. It's just corridors with monsters in them, and you grind. The G word, grind. That there is another one of the pivotal things. You'll spend time grinding, and huge chunks of this game are built around the idea that you will be grinding for accessories. You'll be grinding for cosmetic stuff. But TLDR, this is a solid game with solid gameplay that references a crap ton of games. And overall, as someone who likes games, a game about games being gamey is a great choice. My name has been VSin. Thanks for watching. And I'll just let this roll to the end of the cutscene. Well, fast forwarded, because why not? Good luck trying to figure out how to read that, but you know what? Yeah, like, I'm fast forwarding through it because this would probably take about 5 minutes if it went through it at the regular speed.